Aggies and their quarterback, Billy Robinson.
Well, Billy Robinson finally gets his chance to lead this football team after 5 years. And I tell you, he brings a different dimension to this club than they've had in a long time. He's not a typical drop-back style quarterback. Likes to get in the pocket, move around, and then what he likes to do is try to find things and improvise on the way. And he will also take care of the ball as well, John.
Jamie, the question for Acadia head coach Jeff Cummins is, how do you win the big one today?
If we pound the football and do things that we haven't shown in the last couple weeks, the air will open up. I think we always have Ivan in the back pocket and Chris to throw him the ball. We need to displace the ball a little bit better, and if we do those things, we'll be in good shape.
Cummins has a key weapon in an all-Canadian receiver who has been absolutely special.
You know, he's the reason why AUS defensive backs are staying up at night, John. He's a big, tall receiver, 6'4", 226 pounds, tremendous body control. If I'm Chris Judd, I'm throwing Ivan Barungi the ball all the time because the kid is absolutely so special. Has great speed, gets open, secures the football, but this guy's a game breaker.
And we'll throw it over to Blake Nill to try and figure out a way to stop the key receivers.
We have to stop their big play guys, you know, and that's squarely, there's no secret about it. You know, we want to make sure we try to take Ivan Barungi out of the game, and if we're able to do that, I think it'll go a long way to success for us.
Great day for a great rivalry. They really don't get much better than this.
Hey, John, forget Ticat, Argos, Yankees, Red Sox. We've got Acadia and St. Mary's.
And we've got Paul Hollingsworth along, too.
And, John, one player especially worth watching from the Acadia Axemen today. Keep in mind the name Gare McGinnis, number 36 for the Axemen. He's a rookie place kicker, having an outstanding season so far. Kicking field goals, 5 for 7 this year. He's 11 for 11 while kicking the point after. Second on the team in scoring with 26 points, Gare McGinnis is. I mentioned he's a rookie. He's a 34-year-old rookie. His background is in rugby. He comes to Acadia this year as a 34-year-old master's student, having never played the game of football before in his life. Today, this 34-year-old rookie looks to lead the Acadia Axemen past the St. Mary's Huskies here at Raymond Field.
All right, Paul, and here are the leaders on offense for St. Mary's. Bill Robinson starts at quarterback, hitting on 52% of his passes, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. For Acadia, it's Chris Judd with the leading passing numbers in the Atlantic Conference. To his credit, 521 yards so far, 6 TDs, 5 interceptions. St. Mary's Acadia, it's the rematch in Wolfville on a perfect afternoon in Nova Scotia.
CIS Football on TSN is presented to you by Desjardins, the largest cooperative financial group in Canada, and by Wilson, #1 in football.
So I was having a Bud Light when I met this girl and all her friends. She had a lot of friends, and I made them laugh, and they made me think. When I heard this voice,
Don't get greedy.
so I focused on her and only her. Then she asked, have you met my boyfriend? Her rather large boyfriend. So I kicked myself, but the kicking stopped for a number of reasons. The number? Her best friend Cheryl. When the night goes down this smooth, make it a Bud Light. Smooth all the way.
We go on a guys' getaway every year. Putting it together can be pretty thankless if it isn't just right.
Guys, come on. They said it was nice.
So this year I planned it. I used Expedia.ca. I saw all our options for the trip to Miami. The hotel's got a poolside bar. It's close to the clubs. I even booked an airboat tour of the Everglades. This time it's going to be great.
Jeff, you had me in the same room as Positano?
Expedia.ca. Flights, hotels, car rentals, packages. Your trip, your way.
Daddy loves you so much, Jeff. You have a right to remain silent. Everything you say, 10 will be good against you in the court of law.
Can you have a glove for me, please?
What? You're gonna need both hands for this burger. The quarter-pound grill burgers at Dairy Queen, like the bacon cheddar. Do one, or all 6, and DQ something different. And finish off with your favorite berry cheesequake blizzard treat.
Good night, Mr. Wade. Good night, Diane. Good night, guy who lingers in my office and gaps for hours. Good night, new guy, Dan or Jason or whatever.
It's Jason.
Good night, flirty girl from Receivables. Good night, IT guy who's never around when I need him. Good night, overly cheerful HR lady. Good night, nobody knows exactly what you do, guy.
Stay connected to the office. With free high-speed internet in every room, the office is just a click away.
Television rules the nation.
A school this size, there's the potential to actually change people's lives.
It's got a real sense of character. You have it all right here at your fingertips.
He learned every one of our names within the first week.
It's a totally different learning style here.
And that's what an education should do. It should lead you out of where you are and let you test yourself.
Every Acadia student has this light about them.
Same as being a family back home.
It's really easy to make a ton of friends.
There's something for everybody.
Take a chance in life, do something great.
For a small school, we're very mighty.
CIS football on TSN is brought to you in part by Tissot, Swiss watches since 1853.
Raymond Field in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, home of the Axemen. CIS football on TSN, and there's the head coach of the St. Mary's Huskies with a record of 1 win, 2 losses on the season. Blake Nill knows this is a crucial game today as far as his team is concerned, and obviously on the other side of the field as well for the Acadia Axemen, coached by Jeff Cummins. Cummins, a former CFL player with Toronto, Ottawa, Hamilton, and actually began in Las Vegas with his CFL career. It's a perfect afternoon for this. We're ready for the kickoff under sunny skies in Nova Scotia as the Axemen get set to host the Huskies in the second meeting of the season for these two teams. The Huskies won the opener in a great comeback victory over the Axemen a couple of weeks ago. So it's underway in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, and the opening kickoff trickles out of bounds on the far side of the field.
Here, John, that was a smart play by Eric Nielsen. That's the last guy you really want to be kicking the ball to in this team. He's the all-Canadian defensive back, but a great specialist on the return team. And he was smart enough just to let it go out of bounds, so Acadia will scrimmage the ball at the 45-yard line, I believe. They will get the ball.
Well, that's the rule as far as CFL is concerned as well. When you kick it out of bounds, you have the option of taking it right at the 40-yard line, and that's outstanding field position as you look at it with Gillen in the backfield. This is an outstanding group of receivers. Number 9, Barungi, is the guy that everybody is talking about, and the offensive line is a veteran group, no question about it. These guys are big, averaging over 290 pounds. So it's a big group up front.
That's a big offensive line, and I tell you, they're going to have the work cut out for them this afternoon against this Husky defense. Even though they've been much maligned the past couple of weeks, 2 straight losses, nonetheless, they are a physical group.
So it's 1st and 10. Axemen begin at the 40-yard line. Chris Judd at the controls, and the pitch goes to Gillen. Gillen tries the left side. And Mike Gillen ran into Matthew Fox, who is an outstanding linebacker for the St. Mary's Huskies.
We talked about this Huskies defense and what a force to be reckoned with they will be. You know, they've always been very good at defense. Defensive line, they're running now into a 30 look, but the guy to look for is number 59, Tim Burris, the all-conference. He'll be nose tackle. Linebackers are led by the all-conference middle linebacker, Matt Fox. And the secondary have 2 new guys in the corners, Truzak and Zielinski, the veterans, Kirikopoulos and Knights, secure the inside half spots.
Gain is only 2 yards. This is 2nd and 8. So Judd will try and put it up. Gets a rush, lost the ball, and he's lucky to get it back so quickly. Nerves, a problem for the Axemen. And you know, Burris came in and put the pressure on there.
Yeah, sorry, John. This is why I think St. Mary's has switched. They used to be a 40 team. Means 4 down linemen. Now they've gone to a 30 look, and they feel that they have such great linebackers that it gives them the flexibility to be able to come on blitzes and things like that. And we just saw the blitz right there with Tyler Powell, number 43, getting in there and giving some real good pressure on Chris Judd, forcing Acadia into a punting situation.
James Mitchner is the Acadia punter. Across his 30-yard line to get this away. Trickling down at the 35 and out of bounds, so the Huskies will start back in their own territory as Ryan Warburton really had no play on the ball. So it's 1st and 10, Huskies. First possession for St. Mary's when we return to Wolfville, Nova Scotia.
Coast is clear. Go.
Wilson, the official game football played by Canadian universities for over 10 years. Wilson is proud to support another great season of football, leading up to the Desjardins Vanier Cup in Hamilton. Wilson Footballs, locally made and locally played. Your #1 choice in football. Wilson, the brand of the pros and all university play in Canada. Wilson, the official ball of the CIS.
First possession for St. Mary's, and when you look at the way the Huskies line up, Billy Robinson is the starting quarterback. We've talked about him, but the receiving corps really excites head coach Blake Nill when he looks at the core of receivers he has here, and Robinson has been able to spread it around throughout the receiving corps so far this season.
You know, it's so funny when I look at those numbers, or I look at 88 Warburton, I kind of think of Dave Stallo right off the bat, because that's a number he wore, now having a great career with the Montreal Alouettes.
Flag to the near side, Ron Kelly. On first down, St. Mary's beginning at the 35. Robinson, quick hitch to the far side, and he'll get decent yardage on the connection that time. Brian Warburton. And he was stopped by Gord Wadley.
Come out to run that slip screen, and they get it down the field for a nice game, bring it up second and short.
7 yards to gain, 2nd and 3 here. They'll keep it on the ground and going nowhere this time. Kyle Markin coming in with a huge play for the Axemen on 2nd and 3. Eugene Walker stopped in his tracks.
And John, Kyle Markin is one of their best defensive linemen. He is an all-Canadian, and you can see why right here. They're just in the shotgun trying to run the outside handoff play. But I tell you, Kyle Markin's right there, 6'2", 240 in his 4th year from Calgary, Alberta. Guy is a great player. He was the Metris nominee from this conference a year ago for Lineman of the Year.
Let go, let go!
Huskies forced to kick it away. A one hop near the 45. And Mike Gillen on the return. So on the exchange, the Axemen come away with decent yardage in the field position derby so far this afternoon. Gillen pleading with the officials for an extra yard or two down there. Always happy faces when you come to Nova Scotia.
Crazy kids, painted faces. That's the old slogan here at Acadia. They got a nice crowd, a beautiful afternoon here in Raymond Field. Sometimes this can be a tough place to play, John. I know there's sometimes later on in the fall, the wind comes hard out of the northwest, blows across the field, be left to right on your screen. It's not right down the middle of the field, but today there's absolutely no wind. Weather is not a factor this afternoon. Well, we've already gone one series, and they have not tried to throw the ball to Ivan Burgundy yet, so we'll have to see if Chris Judd's ready to do it. Now, you know, it's really interesting, too, when you look at the two offenses here because they're contrasting styles. Chris Judd is really like a 3-step thrower, likes to throw the ball in 3 steps.
So there's an injury in the quarterbacking situation as far as the Axemen are concerned. Brady Pimlett is in at quarterback now, and that was the reason for an exchange and a discussion on the sideline. Number 18 has taken over the controls. Axemen with a first down just inside St. Mary's territory. Off right tackle, it's Gillen. Mike Gillen has been the busiest of all the Axemen so far.
Well, this would be a huge blow for Acadia if Chris Judd cannot continue, and I'm trying to scan the sidelines to see where he is, but you know, it must have been that big hit that he took from Tyler Powell in the previous series when he fumbled the football, recovered it, but that's the last thing they can do. Now, he did miss the second game of the season this year against Mount Allison. He did not play in that game because of an ankle injury, so maybe that ankle got rolled on or he hurt it again, and they're just making sure. They probably took him inside to take a look at it.
2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain. Going deep into double coverage. It's up for grabs and picked off. Huskies have the ball as Woodley came up with a tip ball deep in St. Mary's territory.
Wow, that's a real heads-up play by Curtis Woodley, because looked like Ivan Barungi might go up and outleap it, but I think Barungi jumps just a little bit too soon here. Ball's thrown up nice and high where you want it, but look, he kind of misjudges it, goes over his head, gets tipped. Curtis Woodley, the converted wide receiver, they felt they had so many good ones, and he was such a good athlete, they had to put him back at safety. Ended up coming up with the first turnover of the football game. Tough way to start, too, if you're the backup quarterback coming in. They ask you to throw the ball deep and then gets picked off.
Intercepted, tossed by Brady Pimlott, so it's a first down for the Huskies, though deep in St. Mary's territory, inside the 15-yard line. That's where St. Mary's begins. Billy Robinson, two-step drop over the middle. He's got a target, and he's on the money. Ron Kelly makes the catch, and Kelly is out across the 30 to the 32.
Yeah, that's a real nice read by Robinson, because they take Les Mullins and they bring him underneath, and it affects the linebacker. They kind of hold up. You'll see Mullins probably come across your screen, that little crossing route, then they leak Ron Kelly into that hole. Nice job by Billy Robinson to recognize it.
An 18-yard gain. So the Huskies have the biggest offensive play of the game so far. First down for Robinson here. Snap a little low. He gets it away. Far side complete. Huge collision over there. Kukski made the catch, and McNally made the tackle, number 21. So Kukski, number 18, Des Kukski, held on.
Yeah, you can't play this any better if you're a defensive back. You get outside leverage right here, make sure, and bang. He just, you know, they teach kids how to tackle. Club, claw, climb. Man, and I tell you, did he ever club, claw, and climb him? Put him right on his back.
Robinson on second down eludes the early pressure, finds a little room down the sideline. A collision there too. It's incomplete. Double coverage coming over as Elliot Richardson came over to make a play.
And also Eric Nielsen, number 20, coming across. This guy, I personally think, John, in the CIS, this guy's the best one-on-one cover guy in the nation. Right there, number 20. All Canadian from Alexandria, Ontario. But this guy is almost impossible to beat one-on-one.
David Swazi, the intended receiver, couldn't hang on that time. So the Huskies get a little bit of field position back on the 18-yard gain, but forced to kick from deep in St. Mary's territory. Gillen had troubles handling the ball. Finally comes up with it after bobbling near the 35-yard line. Ian Sherwin leading the tacklers. We're in Wolfville, Nova Scotia for CIS football on TSN.
Redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
The FSN Point Streak Challenge, presented by Molson Canadian. Nothing is better than a hot streak. Register at fsn.ca/hockey. Pick a player who you think will receive a point. If they score a point, your streak stays alive. If they don't, your streak ends. Stay hot, and you could win a 42-inch widescreen plasma HD TV. Start a new streak anytime. It's free. Hit fsn.ca/hockey to sign up now. No purchase necessary. Must be legal drinking age.
Welcome back. Acadia quarterback number 8, Chris Judd, on the sidelines, holding the clipboard with his hat on backwards. I spoke to him a moment ago. He confirmed he does have an injury. He won't specify what injury that is, otherwise to say that he's re-aggravated a previous injury, but he hopes to get back into this game in the second quarter or perhaps the second half.
Brady Pimlott currently at the controls for the Axemen. He was intercepted the last time he had his hands on the football, and Acadia back with a first down at the 35. Looks to put it up. Lost the ball this time, and who's recovered it? The Huskies look to have come up with the football. And a turnover. That's back-to-back turnovers for the backup quarterback. First the interception and the fumble here, so a little anguish for head coach Jeff Cummings.
This is just inexperience on Brady Pimlott's part right now. I mean, he gets a hard rush on the outside from Chad Moore, number 3. Goes to step up into the pocket, but now loses the football. And a play-action pass, comes back, tries to get set here. He's going to have a hard rush to the outside. Now he steps up, but you got to secure the ball with both hands and you're stepping up. You cannot run around with it kind of flashing outside away from your body because bad things happen.
And that's a bad thing for the hometown Axemen.
It is.
Huskies on the turnover begin inside the 35-yard line. Already in the scoring zone. Robinson got it away in a hurry. Completes. Eugene Walker made the catch and yards after. Wadley over to make the tackle for the Axemen.
And you know, John, Eugene Walker is a great story here. I mean, if you were watching television, ABC a couple years ago when Pittsburgh were playing Texas, this is the guy that rushed for over 85 yards in that game. He's a transfer from University of Pittsburgh. He had a falling out when Dave Wanstead took over the program a year ago. Sat out, transferred to Acadia, and now he's in the backfield here. I mean, what a great find for St. Mary's.
Eugene Walker picks up 16 yards, first down, St. Mary's. Robinson. All kinds of time, end zone toss. He's got a touchdown, St. Mary's. Swassey makes the catch, and David Swassey got in behind the cover and was all alone waiting for the pass from Bill Robinson.
And you know, Billy Robinson should go up and thank his offensive line because this is an offensive line touchdown. He had all day to throw back there. And when you have all day to throw back there, you can wait for your receivers to get down the field. Take a look. No one's even near him. He looks left, looks right, waits, and comes back inside and throws a perfect strike to Dave Swayze.
So a tough start for the Axemen, a couple of turnovers, and St. Mary's, the visiting team, gets on the board first. A 21-yard touchdown toss from Bill Robinson to Dave Swayze. It's 7-0. It's the rematch, second meeting of the season for these two great rivals in the Atlantic Conference, and Robinson draws first blood with a 21-yard touchdown toss, almost perfect. 7-0 Huskies.
Our finished basement's gonna look really nice.
Yeah, once it's finished.
The new Mastercraft Maximum 4-in-1 Hawkeye Laser Estimator, only at Canadian Tire. Its built-in sonic measuring device makes it easy to estimate distances of up to 50 feet. Great for calculating overall room measurements. It also gives you the confidence of an electronic stud finder for locating both wooden and metal studs. It even helps you detect wires inside the wall. And with a built-in laser level, your whole project can stay true and on the level.
So, what do you think?
It's great. What is my mother doing way up there?
Because I hold her in high regard.
Uh-huh.
The 4-in-1 Hawkeye Laser Tool. Mastercraft Maximum Quality, now just $49.99. Now that's different, and only at Canadian Tire.
TSN Point Streak Challenge, presented by Molson Canadian. Nothing is better than a hot streak. Register at fsn.ca/hockey. Pick a player who you think will receive a point. If they score a point, your streak stays alive. If they don't, your streak ends. Stay hot, and you could win a 42-inch widescreen plasma HD TV. Start a new streak anytime. It's free. Hit fsn.ca/hockey to sign up now. No purchase necessary. Must be legal drinking age.
Welcome back to Wolfville. St. Mary's Huskies up 7-0. Dave Swayze, 21 yards from Bill Robinson. Great start for your team. Tell us a bit about the play.
Well, the O-line blocked real well. Gave Billy enough time to throw backside. He didn't see it the front side, so backside was open because they played the cloud coverage. Didn't watch me backside, so he threw it. Billy saw me, and that was it. That's as good as it gets.
Thanks for this. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
As good as it gets for the visitors, scoring right after the turnover. Swayze has the touchdown, his second on the season. And the Huskies kick it off. Gillen ready to return for the Axemen. Short of the 35 and brought down there.
You know, John, as we talked at the very beginning of the show, I mean, it seems so unusual that St. Mary's this time of the year would be 1-2. I mean, the last time they started out 1-2 was 1997. And the fourth game that year, they came in and played Acadia. And Acadia won that game, and they went on to a 1-7 season. Now, granted, they still have 2 games against Mount Allison, which Mount Allison are not very strong yet. They're working hard to get better. But still, nonetheless, this is a key game for St. Mary's and for Acadia. Neither one wants to fall to 1-3.
St. Mary's won the season opener between these two teams in a great comeback. Matt Carter with the catch for the Axemen. He's short of the 45 and stopped over there by Chad Moore.
And he fumbled the ball, John. Turnovers are going to kill St. Mary's. They got to hold on to the football. We've already seen 3 already, and we have 7:33 left in the first quarter. You know, it looks like a fairly well executed play. Fremont gets it outside, so he's got some room, and then first of all, you never switch the ball to the inside when you're running left. You keep the ball outside, away from pressure. Tries to bring it back inside, and that's exactly what happens. The guy gets his hand because all the pursuit is coming inside out.
So another turnover, and the Huskies are set up in great shape again, this time outside the 40-yard line at about the 43. Time for the Axemen defense to come up with something. Here's a swing pass. Anthony just inside the 40, and Elliot Richardson over to make the tackle on him.
Now, if you're watching the start of that play, that looked really bizarre in their backfield because they had a strange formation here. They call this spray formation, where they put a lot of guys in the backfield and then they all move them one way. So they had 5 people in the backfield there, and then they move it and they swing it out to out to Chris Anthony, who is the backup quarterback. So be aware of that. They're back in that spray formation again.
Gain is 4. This is 2nd and 6. Huskies already up by a touchdown.
Now he's going to throw it.
There's the toss and complete, far side. Hardwick made the catch on the toss from Chris Anthony.
They really have Acadia right back on their heels right now. I mean, they're really shell-shocked after the 3 turnovers. But again, now they get into that formation back there. 5 backs in the backfield. They bring the 2 receivers in. Now they all flow to the right side. They're going to take the backup quarterback, number 14, throw it behind the line of scrimmage. Then he just looks downfield. Throws a perfect strike.
Pitch this time. Well defended by the Axemen as Eugene Walker got the call and ran into Steve Farrell.
Steve Farrell, the middle linebacker for Acadia Axemen, was voted the most valuable player in the East team this year, the East-West Shrine Bowl, or the East-West game at the CFL evaluation game that they have in Waterloo. He's an all-conference linebacker.
2nd and 8 facing the Huskies now. Robinson swings it out again. This worked before, and a little low this time.
Well, you know where they should have thrown it, John? I think this was set up to come back to Robinson, and no one went with him at Acadia, so I'm sure the offensive coordinator, Steve Samara, is going to notice that, and they're going to come back to it.
Back to the quarterback.
Robinson throws it, then he spins out of there. Now, I guess he saw a whole host of folks coming, but that was not open.
It was not a good throw either.
No.
So the Axemen will not give up another touchdown on that turnover. Huskies will settle for a field goal attempt here. Davalos.
What a weird formation this is. I don't think I've ever seen this.
Anthony, and they fake it. And going nowhere, no points. Penalty marker far side of the field. That was 3rd down.
I don't think they had enough men.
7.
I don't think they had enough men on the line of scrimmage. I think that's what they're going to get called for here.
Chris Anthony gets 1. We'll check out the infraction.
But, you know, take a look. Everybody's set to the left side, and they snap it to Robinson, then he's just going to take off with it. I guess they feel that they're going left, or excuse me, they snap it to Chris Anthony. They're going to go left, and they get called on a penalty. I'm sure Acadia will decline it, and it'll be 1st down for the Axemen.
Well, there's a break for Acadia, no question about it, after turning it over 3 times in the early going of the opening quarter. 2nd turnover. Cost 7. The 3rd turnover, well, they dodge a bullet there. 5:19 to go. Opening quarter, we're in Wolfville.
Wilson, the official game football played by Canadian universities for over 10 years. Wilson is proud to support another great season of football, leading up to the Desjardins Vanier Cup in Hamilton. Wilson Footballs, locally made and locally played. Your #1 choice in football. Wilson, the brand of the pros and all university play in Canada. Wilson, the official ball of the OUA.
49th season for the Acadia Axemen football program, and the quarterback discussion continues down there. The starting quarterback, Chris Judd, injured early on the opening sequence, so Brady Pimlott, I should say, has been the starting quarterback, and he's had some difficulties. Tossed an interception and fumbled himself, and after that there was another fumble by the Axemen. They've turned it over 3 times in the early going, and now they'll start deep in their own zone, inside the 20. And the running game not working successfully with Mike Gillen as he ran into Chad Moore. So these two teams at 1 and 2 in the Atlantic Conference. That points out how important this game is, with St. FX leading the way 2-1 on the season, and these two teams trying to take over sole possession of second spot.
Well, I think after St. Mary's had that great come from behind victory against Acadia in the opening game, they got shell shocked by St. FX. I think they went up there as, I know, the remnants of Ophelia, the hurricane that blew up the coast, and they lost that football game. And then they had to come and play Laval, a team in which St. Mary's has not scored a touchdown against Laval in the last 4 games.
Pimlott to the far side, open target, and he'll get a completion to Matt Carter, who fumbled earlier after making a catch.
Tell you, that was a great catch by Matt Carter, because the ball was kind of hanging there and the coverage was right there. Play action, trying to roll out bootleg, hard for the quarterback, who's right-handed, trying to get his shoulders around to the left. Yeah, he made a nice catch there.
And good for a first down on 2nd and 7. So something positive for the Axemen to work with here now.
Yeah,
Gillen comes out.
Real important to keep that St. Mary's offense off the field and try to stem the tide of that momentum that St. Mary's had, or maybe with that fake kick that they tried, they stopped them. Maybe this would give Acadia the spark that they need.
First down. Acadia just shy of the 35 pitch. And a solid run by Pavlich, number 32, Josh Pavlich. Again, Chad Moore with the tackle.
And, you know, I think he's their best running back at Acadia. You know, he's had the longest run so far. He had a 52-yard run. You know, I saw him play last week when they played Montreal. I mean, this guy is explosive. He's good. He's fast. He gets his shoulders turned up the field, and now he can cut back. But he's got great explosive power. You know, they were worried about him. They thought he was injured a little bit and whether he was going to be able to go today, but it looks like he's all right.
Another first down for the Axemen. Pimlott avoids the pressure, almost connecting with Barungi. And again, Moore, we have mentioned Chad Moore several times already. He's made big plays.
And, you know, that's a case of Barungi not understanding what the coverage is. They're trying to run a zone underneath, and he just runs right into it. Bang, right there. You got to pull up in those little holes and get settled. Let the quarterback find you and get you the football.
Ivan Barungi, all Canadian last year. 15 touchdown receptions in his career at Acadia. Barungi to the near side on 2nd and 10. Axemen at the 44. Intercepted, second pickoff for the Huskies. And St. Mary's will hang on to the ball as Zielinski comes up with the interception. Pavlich was the intended target. And too many turnovers to dodge the bullet all afternoon for the Axemen.
And that's just great zone defense by the secondary. Jeff Zielinski dropping back into his zone. Comes up with a big interception for the St. Mary's Huskies.
2 fumbles, and now 2 interceptions for the Huskies. 1st and 10, St. Mary's when we get back.
This is Paul. He's been a quarryman, beetle, wing, poet,
father, frontman, producer, business mogul, painter, and if that weren't enough, a knight. The key is never stop doing what you love. Your financial advisor and Fidelity can help. Fidelity Investments. Smart move.
Hi there. What can I get you guys? Hey, how about a couple of Papa Burgers? Yeah, we'll take 2 Papas for $5.
Rory!
There you go.
All right, thanks, Dad. I'm gonna go sit with my friends.
Hi there. What can I get you today?
Anyone want this extra root beer?
Right now, get 2 Papa Burgers for only $5 at A&W.
Well, there's the famous Axeman, mascot of the Acadia team, and Zielinski with the second interception of the afternoon. So the St. Mary's Huskies set up at the 40-yard line. Motion to the left side as Robinson drops back. Time to throw, complete far side. Philbrick making the tackle. Swazi the catch.
Well, he and Billy Robinson really seem to have found each other in terms of hooking up. I mean, these guys really are all on the same page. Dave Swazi just kind of goes down and runs a little out. And Billy Robinson, all sorts of time. And, you know, one of the things that Blake Neal, if you know Billy Robinson's story, you know, he was, after Ryan Jones left, who was a quarterback that took him to the 2001 Vanier Cup. You know, there's Steve Piniella, Billy Robinson were the backups. The next year they came back, Piniella won the starting quarterback job, and Billy Robinson was going to sit. And he didn't want to end his career sitting, so he sat out last year with the intent of coming back this year to take over the reins. And, you know, Blake Neal said, you know, we talked to what he was going to have to do, and he said he really matured, he worked hard, he studied a lot of tape, and he's a gutsy player. Like, he's a guy who realizes that he has to make plays in order to be successful, and he likes that situation that he's in.
He's a fifth-year player and a first-year starter with the St. Mary's Huskies.
And, you know, that was a shock to me when I read that, because he did play, you know, when he was backing up Ryan Jones and also Steve Piniella. He played quite a bit because they brought him in on goal line situations. He played a lot of football.
But he finally got his own team.
He finally got his own team.
That's this year.
Yep.
Huskies keep it on the ground. As Les Mullings is stopped by Mike Philbrick. Paul?
Well, John, you see Chris Judd still in the sidelines here carrying the clipboard. After the previous interception, he picked up the footballs, tried to warm up after three throws. It did not work. He slammed the football down in disgust, picked up the clipboard, and there he is still in the sidelines watching his Acadia Axemen trail the St. Mary's Huskies early here in this football game.
And that's been the story of the game. The number 1 quarterback is out, and the backup has come in and tossed a couple of interceptions. There have been fumbles as well. And when you look at what has transpired so far, I'd suggest that the Axemen are lucky to only be down by 7. This is 2nd and 1. And it'll be enough for a first down.
Well, John, that tells me, too, that his injury is not ankle-related. It sounds like it's something in his upper body with his throwing arm. I mean, if he can't even throw the ball 3 times without a tremendous amount of pain, then it's not looking too good that he'll be back in this football game.
Jacques Lumbala has enough for the first down to move the yardsticks for the Huskies again. So St. Mary's definitely in scoring range now. Moving inside the 15 to about the 17-yard line. Make it the 15-yard line where they spot the ball now. Penalty flags are down. Touchdown coming, but a penalty marker.
No, he's right here. Yeah, you didn't even make it in.
Eric Nielsen in on offense.
Well, this is going to come back, John, because there was a hole. And Billy Robinson's really showing some great maturity. Now, he should be mature because he is a 5th-year guy, but stepping up, keeping his poise, looking downfield for another receiver. But Warburton's catch is going to come back.
Holding on the offense. Still first down.
And, you know, as a quarterback, you always get really upset, especially when you throw a nice pass like that. But you know what? You can't really get too mad at those offensive linemen because they're trying to stop people from breaking your neck. Nice pass, nice catch. Too bad it's all for naught.
Actually didn't quite make it into the end zone. He was knocked out at the 1, if it matters at all. This will be second down and a bunch for St. Mary's. Corner pass. Touchdown.
What a great catch.
Great catch for the Huskies for the touchdown as Kelly comes up with it.
Well, that's a right pass to throw. You know, Ron Kelly's 6'4". He's got that nice height, but I tell you, that was covered extremely well. He just went up and actually scooped the ball out of the defender's hands. Very seldom we see Robinson behind center, play action pass ball, and he just puts it up high and outside. But watch this great reach over catch. Nice job.
Tough to cover any better than that. And Kelly comes up with a second touchdown of the afternoon. 2 touchdown tosses from Billy Robinson. And the Huskies with zeros on the clock. This will be the final play of the opening quarter as St. Mary's improves to 14-0 on the Axemen. Turnovers have been costly, and St. Mary's Huskies have been able to take advantage of those turnovers. A couple of interceptions leading the way to a 2-touchdown lead. Robinson to Kelly for 6 more.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Robert.
How's it going?
Rough. You got any ideas?
Yeah, I think I do.
The new Mastercraft Maximum Speed Ratchet Set from Canadian Tire. It's built on the revolutionary twist ratchet design. Twisting the handle like a screwdriver turns the ratchet continuously. No sweep required. A quick adjustment, and it's a crank wrench, too. And with its hole-through design, no bolt is too long. It comes with a set of dual sockets that work on both standard and metric fasteners. And it includes adapters so you can use it with your regular sockets. Plus, the low-profile socket gets you into all kinds of tight spots.
The Speed Ratchet Set with Mastercraft Maximum quality and a lifetime guarantee. Now just $49.99. Now that's different, and only at Canadian Tire.
Nice. Do you mind if I borrow it? You sure? As long as I get to have it back once in a while.
I'll start with you. Welcome back to St. Mary's. Huskies now up 14-0 in the second quarter. The man who scored the second touchdown is here. Great play, great concentration. Tell us a bit about the touchdown in the end zone, the traffic around you there with that play.
Coach just said you got to go out and make a play, and then that's just what I did.
Bill Robinson getting a lot of time with the offensive line, getting a lot of time to air it.
See the size of our line out there? Huge. They can't stand a chance.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thanks.
Well, you know, John, what also was interesting there is that they had Prince Mwanga was covering. He's kind of like the 6th defensive back. And I tell you, Billy Robinson, it didn't take him long to find where he was in the field and go after him right away.
Already a long way back for the hometown Acadia Axemen, down 14-0 after turning it over 4 times in the opening quarter. And I guess when you look at it, Jamie, it could have been worse than 2 touchdowns.
It could have been 4 turnovers in the first quarter, and usually, you know, teams capitalize on turnovers about 70% of the time. So I'm sure Jeff Cummings is telling his Acadia Axemen, right, it could have been worse. We had a poor first quarter, but we got to get our act back together here and get back in this football game.
2 interceptions and a couple of fumbles, and the Huskies get set to kick it off. Eric Nielsen on the return for the Axemen, and he's at the 30-yard line and stopped there. Tyler Schlusser making the tackle there. Numbers.
When you take a look at it, it's all St. Mary's, especially the passing. 82 yards to 21 for Acadia. Rushing about the same, but that's not what it is. The key stat is turnovers. 4 for Acadia, only 1 for St. Mary's. That's why they have a 14-0 lead.
Axemen begin at the 35 with a first down on a perfect afternoon for football in Nova Scotia. Pimlott, the backup quarterback, at the controls.
And I didn't like the way that Pavlich went down there.
No, he went down.
Yeah, I think
like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, no, he just started to run and he just couldn't do it. You know, I thought I saw him one run earlier that he made a nice run on. He was kind of limping a little bit. But you watch him right here. He just kind of cuts and you can just see he just goes down. No one touched him. And that to me looks like it's a knee problem that he's got. Or hamstring. Looks like it kind of popped it there a little bit. You know, hamstring injuries can be can be a horrible injury to come back from, especially you got to rest him, and it takes a long, long time.
Pavlich had a hamstring problem in practice earlier in the week, and that appears to be what's happened again.
Yeah, that's just, you can tell his leg just kind of gave out on him. He just couldn't kind of put any more weight on it. Walking it off a little bit better. Might have twinged it a little bit and kind of went down, but I tell you, that's a tough one to come back, especially the kind of runner that he is, where you really cut hard, you really use the back of your legs a lot. And that'd be another big blow for Acadia, because I think he is their best running back.
Second and 9, Acadia. Time to throw, open target, and the catch is made. Big break for Acadia as Matt Carter heads to the end zone. Carter has the touchdown.
Boy, did they ever need that one.
Matt Carter
making amends.
70-yard touchdown, and that gets a little activity in the stands here in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. Something to cheer about.
You know, you and I were talking during the break, and you said, hey, Acadia needs to make some plays, and that's exactly what they decided to do, is get away from throwing it to Ivan Barungi. They're doing a good job on him. Leaves Matt Carter. Nice job by Pimlott. Put the ball up, double cover, comes down with the ball, and there's a move right here. That was a move right there that scores a touchdown. First-year player out of the Okanagan Sun. And, John, I remember all the years doing CFL football that you did. I'm sure you saw Jay Christensen play a few times. Well, that's who his coach was. The Okanagan Sun. Looks like they learned a few things from him.
I would say he has. So Matt Carter with a 70-yard touchdown reception, and the Axemen get back into the ball game. One big play. And there was a penalty marker down on the convert.
Procedure on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty applied on the kickoff.
Gar McGinnis is the place kicker for the Axemen. He is a rookie in his first year of football anywhere. He's 34 years old, and he has the convert that time on the second try. So it's a 7-point game early into the second quarter as the Axemen score on a 70-yard touchdown toss from Pimlott to Matt Carter.
Can you look at this?
Sure. Got a lot on the go?
I'll take Mark to practice.
Okay, I'll take Jen to dance class. Can't always eat right. Oh, and your mom called. Trust the science of Centrum Performance. Complete from A to Zinc, it's a multivitamin for multitaskers.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them blue for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes.
The all-new 2006 Suzuki Grand Vitara, completely redesigned from $24,495.
In some parts of the world, war is a way of life for children. They lose their families to war and are recruited to fight as child soldiers. Right to Play uses sport and play to help children overcome war, poverty, and disease. To learn more, visit righttoplay.com.
Truly a beautiful part of this great country of ours, the Bay of Fundy. That's actually Minas Basin. And the highest tides in the world are registered there twice daily. Looking ahead to Wendy's CFL Live on TSN, it's the Rough Riders and the Lions. 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. Join us for that tonight. Axman to kick it off after the touchdown, a 70-yarder recorded by Ron Kelly. And here, Sean White returning for the Huskies, and this will give instant field position to St. Mary's as the kicker, Gar McInnes, got over to make a tackle. A 40-yard return after the kickoff.
Well, you know, you were talking about Gar McInnes, how, and we did a little piece on him at the beginning of the show, 34 years old, but, you know, in the very first kick that he had to try and make against St. Mary's in the first game, it was a 15-yarder, and he missed it. So I'm sure everybody was thinking, uh-oh, what have we got ourselves into? But he's been perfect since then. Nice return here by Sean White, getting outside and then taking it right up the corner. Gives St. Mary's tremendous field position. Well, we'll have to see if the Acadia Axman defense now can get sparked by that long touchdown pass that Pimlaw threw to Matt Carter.
Axman need a big play on defense, something they haven't been able to accomplish so far this afternoon. We're early into the second quarter, and it's 14-7, St. Mary's. First down, Huskies. Robinson from the shotgun keeps it on the ground. Caught from behind. Farrow came over to grab Eugene Walker, number 34, and he kind of hog-tied him there and dragged him down.
Well, that was a nice job by Farrow. I mean, he just comes up underneath and tracks him down from behind, and Eugene Walker's got some great wheels, so kudos to Steve Farrow.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11 here. Robinson under the cover, and he fired a little low on the intended pass for Hardwick. So there's the quick stop for the Axman. They'll get the ball back in a hurry here.
Yeah, they're trying to run that crossing route underneath. Billy Robinson stepping up here, and he didn't get a lot into it, and you'll see why, because when he goes to hit, he gets drilled there right there. But you know what? I think he just didn't get his shoulder in the proper position. Try to hand it to the player as opposed to trying to throw it. Sometimes when you see a guy so wide open, you want to give it to him, not make a mistake. You still have to go through your technique and throw the ball correctly.
Mike Gillen drops deep for the Axman. Short punt this time, and there'll be no return. But the Axman will begin at the 40-yard line, or very close to it. So things turning around just a little bit for the Acadia Axman, coached by Jeff Cummins. It's a wonderful afternoon in beautiful Wolfville, Nova Scotia.
A school this size, there's the potential to actually change people's lives.
It's got a real sense of character.
You have it all right here at your fingertips.
He learned every one of our names within the first week.
It's a totally different learning style here.
And that's what an education should do. It should lead you out of where you are and let you test yourself.
Every Acadia student has this light about them.
Same as being a family back home.
It's really easy to make a ton of friends.
There's something for everybody. Take a chance in life, do something great.
For a small school, we're very mighty.
Welcome back to Nova Scotia. We're in Wolfville. St. Mary's Huskies in town to take on the Acadia Axman. And some early jitters for the Axman after losing starting quarterback Chris Judd. Brady Pimlott has taken over the controls. And Pimlott engineered the last touchdown of the game, a 70-yard toss. Pitch this time. It's Gillen. Mike Gillen.
Well, it's amazing how, John, when you throw a 70-yard touchdown pass, what that can do for your confidence when you're a quarterback. You know, you just got to follow through on your thing, get back and use your technique, get back in the pocket, and throw the pass. But Acadia trying to establish the running game. We saw Pavlich is out. So they got Mike Gillen back in.
And Matt Carter has the 70-yard touchdown reception. Number 7. Second down, Acadia. Pimlott with time. Now out of the pocket. No catch. Benedette was the target. Should have made the reception, and he would have had a first down.
Yeah, that shows the inexperience of Brady Pimlott, because he was looking at Ivan Barungi just doing the out, and it was there. But he kind of hesitated a little bit, and then it wasn't there. So, he should have gone through his read, delivered the football. He can throw the ball pretty well. We saw him earlier. And but just a little bit unsure, I'm sure, because he doesn't get all the reps in practice all week. I'm sure Chris Judd takes most of them.
James Michener. Ready to punt for the Axemen, standing just inside his 30. They go to the direct snap and then to a reverse as the Axemen pull off a huge play here, and they'll get a first down. Eric Nielsen plays on defense and comes in for special plays offensively, and that was a special play. Sean White got over to make the tackle.
This was almost a disaster for Acadia. They almost got in there to get him, but I tell you, nice job by Eric Nielsen to get upfield and know where the first down marker was.
Nielsen made it happen. Watch again.
They snap it to the up back. That's Gillen. He's going left. Now he's going to hand it outside to Eric Nielsen, and he does a nice job of getting around. Now he knows where the first down marker is. He gets up the field and makes sure he gets it. Tackled by Sean White.
And the gain is almost exactly 10 yards. Just what they needed on a third down play. Eric Nielsen. 3 receivers near side. Himlot looking into the middle. And he missed his intended target, Matt Carter, by a couple of yards.
You know, they've been doing a really good job against Ivan Barungi. You know, when they usually they have 2 brand new corners in there, Jeff Zielinski and Steve Chuzak for St. Mary's on defense, and they thought those were going to be big shoes to fill because they replaced Derek Watson, who was a all-Canadian corner, and also Sebastian Clovis, who was all-conference. They thought they'd be strong with Andre Knights and Kirikopoulos in there and Woodley, but they're putting Andre Knights now one-on-one coverage with Barungi, and he's basically shutting them down.
Barungi, 308 yards receiving on the season. Here's Gillen on second down, and he'll come up short. Mike Gillen. He has 6 yards only, and the Axemen send out the punting team.
It's hard to believe, John, coming into this game when you look at all the stats and you look at St. Mary's in particular, and you see that the year that they went to the Vanier Cup in 2001, they averaged 60 points per game on offense. Now, right now, they're averaging 17.5. Now, granted, they played St. FX in a hurricane, and they played Laval, which has always been their nemesis. But nonetheless, that puts them at number 24 in the CIS. That's behind. They're only ahead of Sherbrooke, Mount Allison, and Bishops.
And when you look at the St. Mary's team, though, this season it's definitely a rebuilding year. Last year was time for graduation, so there's an awful lot of players on this team, St. Mary's, that are getting their first action as starters this season, and that's been a concern.
No question, and that's the biggest thing that Blake Nelson has had to deal with, is that they had such great success that when a new player comes in, sometimes he thinks it's his right to inherit the position and inherit the kind of stature that this football team has. He doesn't realize that all the work that it took from that team from 98 when he took it over to build to those Vanier Cups. And he says kids get a real eye-opener sometimes when they realize that everybody in this league wants to play their best game against you because you're the #1 team. You're the team that has set the standard. They've won 6 in a row AUS championships. So everybody's going to play their best against you. And if you're unprepared for that, you're going to get in trouble.
James Michener ready to punt, and waiting deep is Ryan Warburton, number 88 for St. Mary's. Another fake, and this will go for another first down as Michener races inside the 35, still going as he crosses the 20-yard line. Huge plays for the Axemen. A couple of gambles have paid off, and Acadia right back into the game in the scoring zone after a 35-yard run by James Michener.
You know what's great here, John? The end of your line, look at number 3. He turns and he runs. He doesn't even know he's going. Look, he's trying to block. And then Michener gets down the field. He doesn't realize that there's even a run until one of the Acadia players comes in and tries to block him. Then he realizes something's up.
Was that Michener's call?
Yeah, I think it was.
No, man.
A couple of big special teams plays for Acadia, is getting them back in this football game.
First down for the Axemen. The touchdown toss. Eric Nielsen was the target. He was well covered by Andre Knights, who makes a nice play.
Well, that's unusual because I don't see Eric Nielsen on any offensive depth charts that I have.
Oh, they just slide him in, sneak him in a little bit.
Well, I know he's one of the fastest players in that team, but this is really good defense. Plays it right. And actually, what he should be doing is actually reaching with his right hand so his left hand can pull the arm. He kind of reached with the left hand. Kind of dangerous doing that.
St. Mary's with the early lead, and they still are up by a touchdown. The Axemen look at 2nd and 10 here. Open in the end zone. The touchdown toss. Not quite. Oh my. Barungi was there. Maynard was there as well. And Alain Lefebvre makes the play for the Huskies.
Well, I think he had Maynard broke off his route, or Barungi broke off his route. I think he was actually throwing it for Maynard, number 4. Barungi came across a formation, and then what he did is he turned and went back when he saw the ball, quarterback in trouble, threw the ball. But I think he's looking at Maynard the whole way here, and then Barungi comes up underneath. And, you know, actually, Maynard probably would have caught that ball if Barungi had just kept running his own route.
Another look. Barungi got his hands on it, and Maynard was actually there waiting for it.
He was, yeah.
He was the initial target. So Gary McInnes is in to try his first field goal of the afternoon. It'll be spotted at the 26. And he's been deadly accurate for the Axemen. This is the guy we've talked about. A rookie at 36, a grad student at Acadia, coming over from the rugby program and playing football for the first time. He has a 26-yard field goal, and the Axemen creep a little closer to the visiting Huskies.
This SportsCenter update is brought to you by iTech, the face of hockey, the worldwide leader in head and facial protection.
Hey everybody, Corey Warren back here inside the SportsCenter newsroom. The next edition of the show coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Very busy Saturday indeed. Let's check out the stories we're following for you. Final weekend in the majors. 3 playoff spots are up for grab. All eyes will be on Fenway today as the Red Sox and Yankees will battle for the AL East crown. Both teams currently tied in the standings. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Indians look to bounce back after a tough 13-inning loss against the White Sox as they continue their series at the Jake. And the CFL returns to our air tonight as the BC Lions look to bounce back from their first loss of the season as they play host to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. All the action gets underway at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Have all the day's news and highlights coming up on the early edition of the show, 6 o'clock Eastern time. That is 3 o'clock Pacific time. We'll get you back to more CIS football right away.
What a beautiful afternoon for football in Nova Scotia. Looking ahead to tomorrow on TSN, it is the National Football League on the Sports Network. 49ers against the Cardinals, and that game will come to you from Mexico City. St. Mary's Huskies with a huge lead in the early going, but the last 10 points belong to Acadia. As St. Mary's opened a 14-0 advantage, taking advantage of turnovers, but the Axemen have come back and scored on the last 2 possessions.
And what's really helped them, John, has been those plays when they look like they're going to turn the ball over on 3rd down, but they end up having all these little wrinkles. The reverse we saw to Eric Nielsen, then we saw James Mitchell take the ball on the punt.
Huskies on the return. Eugene Walker ran into Matt Allen.
That was a real nice job by Matt Allen, but also by Matt Philbrick, number 25. I mean, he made sure that he had contained, and that's what forced Walker to slow up and allowed Allen to come from behind and get him. St. Mary's were offside on the kickoff. Or excuse me, Acadia were offside on the kickoff, so I believe they're going to have them do it again.
That's the indication.
So St. Mary's catches a break here. I think too, John, it really helped, this Acadia football team when Jeff Cummings came here. We all know that he's from California, and he really has a pipeline connection to L.A. Harbor Junior College there, and that's where Chris Judd is from and a number of other players. And they've really helped turn this program around. He said what the biggest impact they had here is that when they arrived here, they never heard of St. Mary's before. They didn't know of any of the history of St. Mary's, so they were not intimidated by their record.
St. Mary's has won the Atlantic Conference the last 6 consecutive seasons.
Boy, there's another mistake. First of all, you can't go offside, and then when you get to re-kick it again, you cannot kick it out of bounds.
That's instant field position for the Huskies all of a sudden. So.
Instant.
So that's a worry for the special teams coached by Terry Baker, former Montreal Alouettes, who's joined the Acadia program.
Billy Robinson having a good afternoon so far. It's not a bad afternoon, I tell you, 7-7.
That's about perfect, isn't it?
Guess so. You can see the confidence in him. I guess in the very first game when I watched the first 3 quarters of that game, and, he struggled a little bit. He was just rusty. He hadn't played in, 18 months or 2 years, and it showed. But, boy, when the fourth quarter came on and they had to make some plays, he really stood up, and I think that really solidified his role as the leader of this football team.
First down Huskies, and that play is whistled down. Looking back to the first meeting of these two teams earlier in the season, the Axemen had a huge lead.
They were up 19.
And it was into the fourth quarter with a substantial margin, and Robinson brought the Huskies back for the victory.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Huskies. Robinson on the money. Nice catch by Ron Kelly, and Matt Allen had tight coverage as well.
I think they ruled that incomplete. It looked like he came up with it, but then the ball popped out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it looked like it. But the ball popped out, and the official said no catch.
Kelly with a 26-yard touchdown reception earlier this afternoon. And how close was he here? Well, squirted loose, obviously, there you can see. Shotgun Robinson, here's the heat, and he's down. Billy Robinson, Kyle Markin leading the charge for the Axemen. So the Axemen have come up with some defensive plays, and they'll force the Huskies into kicking it away quickly.
We mentioned Kyle Markin's name earlier on some nice plays that he's done on defense. We mentioned he was the Metris nominee a year ago for Lineman of the Year, and boy, he makes a nice play getting in there, splitting the blockers and bringing down Billy Robinson. Because, Jeff Cummings did say that one of the things that scared him about St. Mary's was Robinson's ability to elude people. He's a big guy, but he can really play and get away from the rush.
Barely got it away.
Kick.
But it's a great kick. At the 45, it's Gillen. And there was no room to roam for Mike Gillen over there. So the Axemen will have a first down. Good field position around the 45. Acadia scoring the last 10 points. Swayze with the first catch for a touchdown. Kelly with another one. It made it 14-0. And then Carter gets the Axemen on the board with a 70-yard catch and run.
A school this size, there's the potential to actually change people's lives.
It's got a real sense of character. You have it all right here at your fingertips.
He learned every one of our names within the first week.
It's a totally different learning style here.
And that's what an education should do. It should lead you out of where you are and let you test yourself.
Every Acadia student has this light about them.
Same as being a family back home.
It's really easy to make a ton of friends.
There's something for everybody.
Take a chance in life, do something great.
For a small school, we're very mighty.
Wow, you feel that?
We're getting a workout today.
Tell me about it.
Look alive, guys! Hit it!
Zoom, zoom.
All in favor of a car that drives like this and looks like that. Raise your hair.
Wow.
the 2006 Mazda 6 sedan, part of the award-winning Mazda 6 family.
You know what? What? This next scene always makes me laugh.
See, unless you get a little bit crazy.
Again?
Oh no, we'll never survive.
Beaton, cross it!
Yes!
1-0!
Want incredible entertainment experiences in your lap? Get Intel Centrino mobile technology in your laptop.
What a glorious afternoon in Nova Scotia. Under bright blue skies, we're in Wolfville for CIS football on TSN. A little CIS trivia for you here. St. Mary's has won 6 consecutive Atlantic Conference titles. Who won the championship in 1998?
I think I know that one, but I'll sit on that one for a while.
Sit on it for a second or two anyway. 1st and 10, here are the Axemen beginning at the 45. Down by 4. Gillen, and the running game has not worked very effectively for the Axemen so far this afternoon. Where they have excelled on the ground is a couple of gambles.
The guy who's doing a really good job in there is Tim Burris. We talked about what a matchup that would be because he's going against Carl Ortmans. And Ortmans is a center for Acadia, and they're lining Burris right up on him. It's quite a battle. Now, Ortmans is a very good football player. Drafted by the BC Lions last year, went to camp. Did not make it. They sent him back for another year, but he's a dynamite lineman. And Tim Burris is like a tree trunk in there. He's 5'11", 280, so they've just been battling it all day long.
1 yard gain, 2nd and 9. Rolling left and complete. Matt Carter makes the catch. He'll be short of a first down from our vantage point here. And it may be time to think about gambling. See where they spot the ball. It is slightly shy of that first down territory, about a yard away.
You know, I think they're going to punt it away here, John. I think, they got a 14-10. They're behind by 4 points, but they're back in this football game now. You don't want to give anything easy to St. Mary's here. Kick the ball away. Let your defense kind of rely on it. They get Pimlott outside. Put the ball out to Carter. But, sure tackling by Alex Kirakopoulos. Did not play the first 2 games this year for St. Mary's, but was eligible to play in the 3rd league game and came back, and it's a great addition to their secondary.
It's a long yard necessary, so this is the right call. Let Michener kick it away.
But the other thing, too, is now they've run a couple of fakes on here, so St. Mary's are going to be a little bit more cautious about running away and getting down the field.
Watch those hands! Watch those hands!
Michener picked up a big first down the last time he was in punt formation, but they pinned the Huskies deep. Pat Gillespie leading the tacklers there. First and 10, St. Mary's when we return to Wolfville.
The all-new 2005 Hyundai Tucson. Winner of the AJAC Best New Crossover Vehicle Award. Perfect for whatever, whenever.
Huskies opened a big lead on 2 touchdowns off turnovers in the opening quarter. But the Axemen have battled back with the last 10 points on the board at St. Mary's 1st and 10. And the Huskies begin at the 25 here. Billy Robinson from the shotgun. Takes off himself. And Robinson puts his head down and crosses the 35. Eric Nielsen over to make the tackle, and Robinson.
John, that's a design play. That's quarterback draw all the way off the bat. I mean, he saw receivers covered downfield. He was going all the way. And the reason you can tell is you can see how they block up front in the offensive line. Also, receivers are downfield blocking. They're not looking for any passes from the quarterback. And they know that Robinson is a very good runner. He's big, he's tough, not afraid of putting his head in there, so they're going to run him a few times.
Elusive and slippery when he does get his hands on the ball. This time Robinson rolls to his left. Ron Kelly the catch far side.
And I tell you, that's a real nice job by Billy Robinson again. When he gets outside, the hardest thing is everybody always talks about this, a right-handed quarterback throwing to his left, but, you know, he really works hard to get his shoulders around, and he makes the proper throw. Technically, rolling to his left, watches downfield shoulder, gets it right around, and now he can make a perfect strike to Ron Kelly.
13-yard reception and a first down for the Huskies. Just shy of the 50 here. Robinson buying a little extra time and couldn't find anybody open.
You know, it was a good job by Acadia because St. Mary's are trying to run screen, and their defensive lineman recognized it immediately. The screen was not there. Robinson should have probably just thrown it out of bounds.
Guys downfield.
Make it 2nd and 10. I guess that's what it is. He got it. No, I guess it's going to be about 2nd and 12, I think, now. But good, smart play by him not to throw it there when it wasn't there. See, everybody starts to turn away. No one rushes them anymore. They all retreat because they're looking for the screen, and he's just trying to look for something there. Nothing's there. Smart move, just get out of bounds and throw it away.
Yeah, in reality, he lost a yard, but he looks at 2nd and 11 now. Robinson unloads in a hurry. This will be a big first down. Ron Kelly with the catch.
Tell you, he's just throwing strikes in there right now. I mean, we could hear the thud when that hit Ron Kelly. And Ron Kelly, you know, is such a big target. We talked about him earlier being 6'4", out of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Nice protection up front. Robinson can step up. There was a perfect strike to Ron Kelly right in that seam.
Robinson, a cool customer, demonstrated there on back-to-back plays. And a 21-yard reception by Ron Kelly. 4th catch of the afternoon. Intercepted. First interception for the Axeman, Eric Nielsen again. And on the return, Nielsen looks for a block, and he's forced out at the 43. So a huge play for the Axeman. First interception tossed up by the Huskies. And Acadia gets one back, Jamie.
And I think that's just experience right there, Billy Robinson. You know, he should know better than this. When it wasn't there, it broke down right away. He was trying to hit Les Mullings. It wasn't there. You know what? You've got the best one-on-one cover guy in the CIS, Eric Nielsen. You cannot throw the ball up like this. I mean, that looked like a perfect pass to Nielsen. I mean, he just made it look so easy.
And a great block to get Nielsen a yard or two extra on this return. So Nielsen was back there playing center field and just took it over his shoulder. And the turnover goes to the Axeman with 2:55 to go in the opening half. An interception was right there. Barungi was the intended target. Andre Knights had a chance at it, but I think he lost in the sun.
Absolutely. That's exactly where the sun is. You can tell by the shadows in the field, and all of them looked up around it. None of them knew where the ball was. I mean, nobody knew where it was. I think it hit Andre right in the head. Andre Knights right in the side of the head. Perfect shot right in the ear hole.
We told you that Ivan Barungi was going to be a star in this game this afternoon, and so far they have been unable to connect with the all-Canadian receiver.
Well, it shows you the kind of job that Andre Knights is doing, and Blake Nill did say that they had to stop Ivan Barungi.
Well, they've shut him down so far. Number 9, all-Canadian for the Axemen. Shut him down until now as Barungi makes the catch right at midfield, and that'll be a first down. Matthew Fox was there waiting to make the tackle, so Barungi has his first catch. 2:24 to go till halftime.
He must have heard us talking up here, John, and decided to say, hey, those guys are saying I'm not doing anything, but now it's time to get involved in the football game. And he just goes down and runs a little stop route and turns inside, and Pimlaw puts the ball right on his numbers.
Knights on Barungi. 5 touchdowns on the year, 15 career for Barungi. The pitch to Gillen. And the Axemen continue to move the football as Gillen gets inside the 50 where he's met by Sarzinski.
You know, that's a good play for Acadia right now. You know, you don't have to get first downs every time. You don't have to throw the ball all the time. They do have a running game. They've got a very good offensive line. Run the football. Make it situation 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, because now it opens up your whole offense. You can run play action pass. You can do a bevy of different things.
Second and 5. And the Huskies were waiting for the play on the ground that time. 1:29 to go till halftime, with the visitors leading by 4.
Looks like Jeff Toming was kind of hesitating there for a second, but no, you got to punt the ball away here.
Well, yes, it's 3rd and 4.
Yeah, no, you're not going to go do anything cute here, I don't think. I think you're going to punt the ball away, angle it to the left side of the field, the short side.
Although they have been cute on a couple of third down punting situations, and it has paid off for the Axemen.
And it serves its purpose. You know, it stops that really heavy rush on your punter. They cannot set up their return as effectively as they'd like because they have to watch for things.
James Michener is the punter for Acadia.
Acadia moves, so they're going to get penalized. The legal procedure is going to take them back 5 yards. You know, it's the most frustrating thing is, John, when you're coaching is, you know, physically if you get...
A legal procedure on the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Physically, if you get beat, there's not much you can do about it, but you cannot beat yourself mentally. You cannot make mental mistakes, and that's what that is right there. That's just when you're getting tired, it's late in the first half, and you just lose your concentration for a second.
Deep kick by Michener. Warburton returning for the Huskies and well covered by the Axemen. Leading the tacklers that time, Steve Farrell. .104 till halftime.
Well, this would be a big loss if it's Carl Ortmans is hurt down on the field. The center we were just talking about. Looks like he's going to be all right. Might just be stunned a little bit.
6th round pick of the BC Lions in the CFL draft. Definitely the leader for Acadia up front.
Well, that's good news that he's up on his own, walking off the field.
These guys are big, aren't they? This offensive line for Acadia. You know, some size. Whoa.
Think of Peter Stevens, you know, the right guard. He's 6'5", 352. Now, that's not a misprint. 352. How do you get to be 352?
Well, and Adam Rogers, who was the Rookie of the Year last year, definitely a CFL prospect, number 50, is 6'5", 295.
Right.
So he's got a couple of years of university football to grow a little bit bigger.
Maybe it's a race between he and Peter Stevens.
Brady Pimlott at the controls for Acadia. He has his favorite target, Brungy.
You know, I think
he might have lost the ball.
Well, he did lose it, but I think he's down. I'm not sure why the official didn't even blow it. He was down, definitely down. And
Huskies try and sell it, but they won't get away. Oh, maybe they will.
Oh, now this I think is a poor call here.
Closer look here right now.
Yeah, he made the catch, no question about it, and then he goes down on one knee. See, he's down now. Now the ball pops out. And I don't think that's not even close, I don't think.
One knee down.
Yeah. Now he's down here. The ball
CS
is
football.
Now the ball comes out.
Yeah.
And the official's right there looking at it. And I would probably see it better in this angle here. Yeah, his knee's down. He had ball. That should be whistled dead.
They'll rule it the 5th turnover of the afternoon for the Axemen, and the Huskies will have less than a minute to work with here in the opening half. Robinson can't find anybody. Takes a hit as he fires this one out of bounds.
Smart play by him. Don't force it again. You know, just run all over the field, tire out that Acadia defensive line.
That's Truman Thomas, who had a little bit of a run there, and he needs a break.
Yeah, I tell you, that's a long run. You're running from one side of the field, then Robinson turns and runs back. And I tell you, that's when it becomes most dangerous, too, because you get picked off as a defensive lineman when you're running back offensive linemen who've lost leverage on you. Come back and just start picking you off like a picket fence. And that would not be good either. That is.
Kyle Markin has had an outstanding game so far. He's being tended to by the training staff with 45.7 seconds till halftime. He'll shake it off.
Kyle Markin, they can't afford to lose him.
A look at what happened.
There he is there. We talked about getting picked off, and there one guy gets picked off. He gets clipped a little bit in the back. They didn't call it.
Second down for the Huskies. The charge was on. Robinson complete on the far side. Mullings makes the catch. He's short of a first down, and the Huskies will kick it away. So there's still 36 seconds for the Axemen with any kind of a return here.
You know, John, it's interesting. You see Les Mullings catch the ball. We were doing a game 2 years ago. You'd be calling his name every second play because Les Mullings was the player at St. Mary's on offense. I mean, he was the AUS nominee for the Heck Wright Trophy in 2003. He and Al Giacalone were back there at running backs. They called him Thunder and Lightning. And, he was drafted by Ottawa last year, went to the Riders, came back this year. And his role has really changed a lot. I mean, the offense really now seems to be centered around Billy Robinson, not so much Les Mullings anymore. And they're really trying to throw the ball down the field. And I think that happened because when Al Giacalone was ruled ineligible and could not come back to school this year, they figured that they had to change their offense a bit because Mullings was really the thunder part. Giacalone was the lightning, Mr. Outside. But Les Mullings even had an article in the paper about a week ago here in Halifax saying that he really was unsure of what his role is now with the St. Mary's Huskies. He's not involved in the offense as much, and it really was a concern to him.
So 36.5 seconds till halftime, and the Axemen will get one more opportunity as Davalos. It's a high spiral down to Mike Gillen. And Gillen draws a flag on the coverage. He gets to the 50-yard line, and 24.2 seconds remain. Procedure call against St. Mary's.
I would think they would decline that. And with 24 seconds, have a few more shots at the end zone, or at least get into position where they can.
Procedure against Acadia. Penalty is declined. Against St. Mary's, excuse me. First down, Acadia.
So they can allow Garrett McInnes to get into field goal range because he does have quite a leg. They say that he can hit from 57 yards out. He's done it in practice. Now, practice isn't game, but I tell you have perfect conditions for him to attempt one this afternoon along with him. They probably have to get about 15 yards to give him a decent shot. 10 to 15 yards to give him a shot for a field goal.
Anthony Mays flanks to the near side. First down, Axemen. 24.2 seconds till halftime. Acadia down by 4. Under the coverage. Barungi with the catch. He's got the 45-yard line, and they draw flags over there. 17.4 to go till halftime. Andre Knights was over to cover.
That's just starting to lose your cool on defense. You know, Acadia are starting to do some things. They didn't panic. They got back in this football game, and they're starting to make some plays. We've seen Barungi. We've called Barungi's name a few times. Now he's starting to get involved in the game. You don't have to throw the ball deep to Barungi. Get him open underneath. He can run. He can make some plays for you.
Dead ball foul. 10-yard penalty after the play.
And he catches the ball here, and somebody gives him a shot going out of bounds. Now, it wasn't much of one, but it was the intent. And they're going to flag that.
Well, and the penalty called against the Huskies, so Barungi with the catch and the penalty tacked on. The Axemen have the 36-yard line with a first down, 17.4 seconds. All of a sudden, Barungi, 3 catches, 41 yards. All coming late in the opening half. The pitch behind Gillen, and in making the catch, he had a little difficulty with his footing.
Well, it wasn't very good.
Went down.
Sorry, it wasn't a very good pitch by Brady Pimlott to him. It was a little bit high, and he kind of got caught up on his shoulders. And there's why Barungi's having a tough afternoon. I mean, you got Andre Knights, the experienced fourth-year player. You know, he was part of these Vanier Cup teams. He knows what it takes to win. I think what they should do with Barungi is stick him inside. You know, give him some more room to work with. I think he's very effective when he goes inside. Instead of taking him all the way to the barrier, and then they try to funnel him inside to the other defensive back when they're trying to double him. You know, move him around a little bit.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure
Jeff Cummins
keep them both in.
began his CFL career with Las Vegas and ended up playing in Hamilton.
But you're going to the seesaw here, okay? And if you throw it, that some bitch better get aired out. Right?
He's done a nice job with the action. Certainly talking it over with his backup quarterback, Brady Pimlott, looking at the final 13.3 seconds.
Well, I think right now, John, I know they'd love to get the touchdown, everybody would, but he wants to make sure they're not going to do anything crazy. They want to at least come out of here with 3 points. And they're well within Gare McGinnis's range. You know, he's hit now, what, 6 of 8 on the season. So he's a very effective kicker. But they only have 13 seconds left. They probably would have called 2 plays in the huddle.
3 receivers to the near side. Acadia looking at 2nd and long. Pimlott looking deep, and it's batted down. The intended target appeared to be Matt Carter, but it was overthrown, and that was Steve Truzak dropping deep in the coverage. So 7 seconds remaining in the opening half. And there's the kicker, who's a dad, 34-year-old place kicker for the Axemen, a graduate student at Acadia this year.
Now think about the team nickname for him, though. He's only 34. What do you think they call him? Old man. How does he rank with that one? I want to know that. 34, he's an old man. Hardly.
Speaking of old man kickers from Acadia, how about the old man of all time, Bob Cameron,
Absolutely.
an Acadia kicker who played till he was about 53 in Winnipeg.
I don't think he was that old, but
Not
I think
quite.
he was 48 or something.
Well, he had a few miles on him, but
Yeah,
he was
he
a
did.
great punter. No question about it. Graduate of this university.
Yeah, great college quarterback as well.
It's wide. It goes for a single point, potentially. And out to the 1-yard line.
I don't think he got out.
I'm not so sure he did.
Oh, they're saying he did.
Apparently he got out. Just barely got the 1-yard line. So the opportunity was there to climb a little closer, but it's a 4-point differential at halftime. St. Mary's Huskies taking advantage of early turnovers, and the Axemen battling back with a couple of real interesting plays to score the final 10 points of the opening half. 14-10 at halftime. Here's Paul.
With Blake Neal, the head coach for the St. Mary's Huskies, he took advantage of some costly turnovers by Acadia early, but now we have a close football game heading into the second half.
Basically 2 separate games, right? We started off well. We had momentum going. It was looking pretty good. Then we gave up that big pass play, and we had a hard time getting any kind of thing built up after that.
You had a lot of concern about your offensive line coming into this game. Billy Robinson seems to be getting a lot of time back there, but we still haven't seen you establish the run yet.
No, it's the old line's starting to get better and better, but we need to get the run game going, and that's something we're going to have to look at coming in the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, Paul. Take care.
Good story. Great rivalry. It's St. Mary's at Acadia this afternoon. CIS football on TSN. And lots to celebrate for St. Mary's early, but it's a long way from over as the Axemen battle back to within 4.
Good night, Mr. Wade. Good night, Diane. Good night, guy who lingers in my office and gaps for hours. Good night, new guy, Dan or Jason or whatever.
It's Jason.
Good night, flirty girl from Receivables. Good night, IT guy who's never around when I need him. Good night, overly cheerful HR lady. Good night, nobody knows exactly what you do, guy.
Stay connected to the office. With free high-speed internet in every room, the office is just a click away.
conversation.
So, any questions?
What's that?
Well, we pretend to live a day ahead of the rest of the world because our shipping company is often late.
So when the shipment that's meant to arrive next Thursday arrives on Friday...
It's not really late because it's not really Friday.
It's Thursday.
Why don't you just ship with FedEx?
Today's tomorrow's shipment to loading dock.
Whether you need it there next day or next week, relax. It's FedEx.
Hello? We're calling. Your call.
Awesome, hockey's back.
Welcome back, hockey. Rated E10 for ages 10 and up. EA Sports. It's in the game.
This week is Sony Week at Future Shop, and that makes everyone a winner. Because this week only, all Sony MP3 players, digital cameras, and camcorders are on sale. All Sony car stereos, DVD players, and home theater systems are on sale. Plus, a huge selection of Sony CDs, movies, and PlayStation games are all on sale. And you can also win big because every day we're giving away a $10,000 Sony Dream Prize package. So save big or win big during Sony Week. This week only at Future Shop.
Here they are, the forgotten ones. The ones left behind to fend for themselves. Living in unimaginable conditions, they hope for a better tomorrow.
I want my mommy.
The Walmart anniversary event. Good thing it's only a week.
And welcome back. 14-10, the St. Mary's Huskies lead the Acadia Axemen at halftime here in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. It is a beautiful day in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, but in many ways there is a cloud covering the Acadia Axemen this season, and it's a cloud of tragedy. This past off-season, the Axemen had to say goodbye to their former teammate and captain, Kristen Pipe, who died in July. In many ways, Wolfville, Nova Scotia is the heartland of the Maritimes, an area steeped in agriculture and academics, where people appreciate hard work, effort, and bravery, qualities that were embodied by Kristen Pipe. The 2005 season is a tough assignment and a heavy burden. The Acadia Axemen football team is playing their conference opponents while mourning the loss of their former captain. Pipe died in July after battling leukemia and illnesses stemming from a dysfunctional immune system.
People would come in the community and they would see him in the gym. Oh, how you doing, Kristen? How you doing? You know, congratulations on the game. You did very well. You're doing this well. You know, and even the professors, they always talk about, oh, Kristen Pipe was the ideal student athlete.
The things that he went through in his time, we have no concept of, and for him to come out and play every single day the way he did, to battle through practices, to battle through the cold weather when he had an immune system that shouldn't have had to go through, you know, the things that he did. You know, we'll never understand it and never be fully aware of the battles that he went through on a day-to-day basis.
He came to Acadia in 1999 as a highly touted recruit, a player many thought would lead the Axemen to a national championship, but it never happened. Injuries and poor health kept him on the sidelines for much of his 5 years with the team.
There were times where he'd come out to practice and it'd be pouring down rain and it'd only be 6 or 7 degrees outside. And he'd never say boo. I mean, wouldn't say a word and go through the practice and leave. And then, you know, 2 weeks later, he's back in the hospital again for an 8 or 9 day stint. I kick myself, I really do. But the truth of the matter is, and I've come to this resolution, is that he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. If he wanted to do something else, he would have gone somewhere else. He said that to me, you know, a week before he passed away. Hey, I wouldn't have changed anything if I could. He says, I loved every minute of it.
He was always ready for the challenge. He never backed down. He was a competitor more than anything. And for him to finish his last game like he did means a lot to him, I'm sure, his family, and to the Acadia Axemen.
Kristen Pipe was only 26, too young to die, but old enough to leave an indelible mark on those who knew him. He's remembered by his coaches and teammates not only as a gifted athlete, but also as a young man blessed with an abundance of character and bravery. And in Kristen Pipe's final game against the St. FX X-Men last year in the conference semifinal, 15 for 26 passing, 136 total yards for 1 touchdown. The team here remembers them this year in a very simple and underspoken way, if you will, a black football helmet honoring their former captain and teammate, Kristen Pipe, who was 26 years old. Halftime continuing here at Raymond Field in Wolfville, Nova Scotia. The hometown Axemen, Kristen Pipe's team, trailing 15-10, heading to quarter number 3.
TSN HD, redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
So I was having a Bud Light when I met this girl and all her friends. She had a lot of friends, and I made them laugh, and they made me think. When I heard this voice,
don't get greedy.
So I focused on her and only her. Then she asked, have you met my boyfriend? Her rather large boyfriend. So I kicked myself, but the kicking stopped for a number of reasons. The number? Her best friend Cheryl. When the night goes down this smooth, make it a Bud Light. Smooth all the way.
It's not like any other job. Ours is a learning experience.
It's technology.
Opportunity. Teamwork.
We're all across Canada.
Around the world. Making a difference. Think about it. It just could be the challenge you're up for. Strong.
Proud.
Today's Canadian Forces.
A message from the Government of Canada.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway.
Wherever business takes you, Best Western is there. Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain.
Stay at Best Western this fall and earn double reward points or miles. CAA members can earn triple points.
Objects in a Aveo are larger than they appear. The surprisingly big Chevrolet Aveo.
I had a really good time tonight.
Me too.
Smell great longer, stay out later with new Red Zone After Hours body spray.
Have a nice day, ladies. Good morning, Mr. Fisher. Good morning, Mr. Ryan. Good morning, Miss Keaton. Good night, Mr. Morgan.
Smell great longer, stay out later with new Red Zone After Hours body spray.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Century 21. To purchase or sell your home fast, call a local expert. Your Century 21 sales professional.
The puck drops in 4 days. Just in time to try new Coca-Cola Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste, 0 calories.
A glorious afternoon in Nova Scotia under bright blue skies. In Wolfville this afternoon, St. Mary's and Acadia. Lots of action, lots of thrills, and a close game. St. Mary's out in front 14-0, but the Acadia Axemen roared back. Jamie, and let's take a look at how it went. It was early struggles for the Axemen.
It really was. They lost Chris Judd, and they had to put Brady Pimlott in at quarterback, and he coughs the ball up. And this leads to St. Mary's first touchdown as Billy Robinson gets back and throws a strike to the speedster Dave Swayze to put the St. Mary's Huskies up 7-0. Then St. Mary's aren't finished yet. They come back and they throw a long pass to Ron Kelly, who goes over the defender to make a play.
And this was the play of the first half, I thought.
Yeah, he got Acadia back in the football game. A long pass down the field to Matt Carter, covering 70 yards. Did a nice job of getting it into the end zone.
First 7 for Acadia there. The next 3 for the Axemen come on a fake punt.
And a bit of trickery here. They did a reverse play on a third down fake punt. Now this time the punter, James Mitzner, runs it, gets him into field goal range. Gary McGinnis kicks the field goal. We have a 14-10 ball game.
Lots to talk about in this one this afternoon, and we'll look at the first downs. obviously, with St. Mary's into the early lead, leading at 10-8 there, but all of a sudden, the Axemen get back and close. The turnovers were real costly.
It's amazing how close these teams are. You look at rushing. I mean, 15 and 11. Passing's pretty consistent. It was the turnovers that really killed Acadia, 5-2 in the first, that really spotted St. Mary's 14 points in the first quarter.
Anytime you come to this ballpark, Raymond Field, everyone is an Acadia fan here. It is a beautiful place to spend an afternoon in fall. St. Mary's on top, 14-10 on the Axemen so far.
Coast is clear. Go. Okay, you've got 2 minutes. What are you doing? You should be out of there. Get out.
Can you resist it?
Wilson, the official game football played by Canadian universities for over 10 years. Wilson is proud to support another great season of football, leading up to the Desjardins Vanier Cup in Hamilton. Wilson Footballs, locally made and locally played. Your #1 choice in football. Wilson, the brand of the pros and all university play in Canada. Wilson, the official ball of the CIS.
TSN HD, redefining the image of sport. TSN HD is proudly presented by JVC. JVC, the HD technology leader.
A plot exposed. A witness threatened. Now the man sent to protect her is running out of time. The Interpreter. Own the DVD Tuesday.
Right on target. Now you can target only your gray hair with Just for Men. In 5 easy minutes, it replaces gray with subtle tones for a natural look.
You really got me.
Right on target. Just for Men, the Rejuvenator.
Introducing Aqua Velva Ice Balm Aftershave. Alcohol-free, vitamin-infused. Skincare from A to V.
You've waited, you've dreamed, and now it's finally back. Endless Shrimp at Red Lobster. The only time of year to enjoy all the shrimp you can eat. Don't miss Endless Shrimp, Canada. Right now, only at Red Lobster.
Right now, pick up a free Wood Pro kit at a steel dealer near you. Get real power. Steel. Built to last. Price to sell.
A beautiful view from our vantage point here at Acadia University out over the Bay of Fundy, where the world's highest tides happen twice daily, and it's just a wonderful afternoon in Nova Scotia to watch a little fall football. And when the home team goes down by 14, the home coach has to come up with a little something to get his guys back into it.
You have to start pulling some tricks out of your little black hat, and they got off and running when they were on third down, and they faked the punt. And then the first one they ran was a reverse to Eric Nielsen. Then, of course, they put Michener in now. This time he looks up. Everybody's peeling back on St. Mary's, trying to get the return set up. And he makes a nice heads-up play and gets them into position to get some more points. So, really, it's been that fakes on third down that have really kept Acadia in this football game.
A definite bestseller for James Michener there to set up the field goal to get Acadia back within 4 points.
I tell you, John, you and I were talking. I mean, when it was 14-0 for St. Mary's, and you think Acadia's lost their #1 quarterback, they've lost their best running back, you got to start thinking, things aren't looking too good for the Axemen. But to their credit, they hung in there. You know, and you can tell they're a well-coached team. They have great discipline. They believe in themselves. And right now, you're talking a 4-point football game. They're saying one play can change this game and be in our favor. So, a real sign of good coaching here by the Acadia Axemen.
Yeah, that's Jeff Cummins, the head coach. Lots of CFL experience in his background. He's in his 3rd season as the head coach here in Wolfville, and going up against another guy who is doing an outstanding job with the St. Mary's Huskies since taking over out there, and that's Blake Nill. And here we are at Raymond Field, our broadcast location, looking over the field here at Acadia University on a bright, sunny October afternoon.
And you know, John, it's a lot nicer game this time than the last one I ever did here. It was 1990, last game of the regular season, pouring rain, didn't matter. They didn't play Chris Flynn, they didn't play any of their starters. It was a tough one to do here. Today is a lot nicer. We got a much better game.
Well, an enthusiastic crowd as well as the Axemen head back out onto the field, and it looked like it was going to be a long afternoon for the hometown guys without question after those early turnovers. In fact, 4 turnovers in the opening quarter, and all of a sudden St. Mary's had the 14-0 advantage, but the Axemen have battled back, and they've still got a ways to go. They still trail at this point in time, but if there is a little bit of momentum, I would suggest it's on the Axemen side. And when you looked at the way the Huskies came into this one, Billy Robinson really had an outstanding first half. At one point, he was 8 for 8.
Well, you know, I think he really was the difference in that first quarter. I mean, he was right on all the time in his passing. You know, we talked about how he doesn't like to sit in the pocket. He looked like he did a pretty good job sitting in the pocket. And, you know, I think what's really you're starting to see with this guy is that he's gaining confidence the more he plays. This is becoming his team. 10 of 16 for 121 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jeff Cummings' job now, actually it's Clint Utley's job, who's a defensive coordinator, is to figure a way out how to stop this guy. They have to get a bigger rush on him. They got to give him different looks.
Well, here is the Acadia coach on the sideline with Paul Hollingsworth.
Coach, falling behind early after some costly turnovers, but like last week, you've closed the gap and made a football game of it.
Yeah, we did the same thing last week against Montreal, and now we're doing it here against St. Mary's. It's tough to do against good football teams. Luckily, our defense has been playing their tails off, and you know, we're struggling a little bit on offense right now. Our starting quarterback goes out after the first series, and now our starting center goes out after half. So we got a few holes to plug, but I think our guys are up to the challenge. It should be a fun second half.
Ortmans and Judd both not returning for the second half?
Both are going to be in civvies in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
Well, there's the bulletin. You lose your starting quarterback early, and then you lose your starting center shortly after that.
You know, people think about, you know, the center. That's a big loss for them. Not only is he a good football player, but now he does other things. I mean, he snaps the ball. It all starts with him. And I tell you, if you lose a guy of his caliber in this game, that could be have a huge effect. Because I think of the defense, the linemen they're going to have to switch here. I'm not sure who they're going to put in at center. I guess it's going to be Steve Patrick.
Well, he's listed as the backup, Jamie, but they may have to make other adjustments up front.
Right. And but no kidding, that's a big loss for them. Not only Chris Judd, Carl Ortmans, they're going to have to play mistake-free football here in the second half.
And as we pointed out, it was not mistake-free in the opening quarter for the Axemen, with 4 turnovers early and a total of 5 in the opening half.
You know, I'm sure Jeff Cummings told his team at halftime, saying, you know what, we turned the ball over 4 times in the first quarter and we're still in this game. Now, you know, usually you're out of it by that time. So he's probably looking at that as a positive to them, saying all we needed to do was get a couple of plays and we were back in it. Stop the unnecessary mistakes and let's get out there and start playing football. And they really responded to that.
I think another positive for the Axemen when you look at it is they didn't get a whole bunch from their number 1 star, Barungi, who got 3 passes, had 1 fumble, but he didn't get involved in the offense until late in the first half. Second half underway, and the Huskies out across the 30 to the 33 on the return by Eugene Walker. And they'll scrimmage just inside the 35 after a 19-yard return.
You know, I think the concern with Blake Nill at halftime for his football team is, you know, yeah, Billy Robinson's doing a great job, but it's the lack of the run game for them. You know, they only had, 15 yards rushing in the first half. They've only been averaging 73 yards per game, which is well below where they want to be with this football team.
Huskies first down just inside the 35. Penalty marker goes down on the first play. And running inside continues to be tough as Shad McLaughlin made the tackle there for the Axemen, number 3.
And, you know, I think Blake's concern about the run game in particular is that, you know, he feels that his offensive line is relatively inexperienced. I mean, they had some great players here that were offensive line. Steve Morley, of course, who's now with the New York Jets. They had Salmas, they had Colin Oldry, they had all these really good players over a period of time. Now they've all had to be replaced, and they're not playing together as a group right now.
Penalty goes against the Huskies offside.
Offside on the offense. Penalty is declined. Second down.
And you know, Blake Nell is smart enough to know that days like this in October are rare. That, you know, if you don't establish a running game, you're going to come up in some really bad weather, poor weather here in the Maritimes. It can happen. And you need to be able to run the football.
Second down, Huskies. Robinson looks to put it up. Nice pass, nice catch. As Elliot Richardson comes down with it. Or rather, Carl Hardwick comes down with it. Met by another number 5, Elliot Richardson.
It takes the big ones coming across the middle when you're going up like that for a ball, and you know that that free safety's coming at you, going to make a big collision on you. Good pass inside, but I think even a better catch. He knows he's going to get rocked, and that was a real good hit by Elliot Richardson.
18 yards the gain on the ground. Jacques Lumbala, the ball carrier, and Philbrook made the tackle there.
Well, I think you're going to start to see this more and more. I think St. Mary's are now trying to get committed to the run here. They want to try to physically establish themselves. As you can see, they've taken out Eugene Walker, spelling him with Jacques Lumbala.
First down, St. Mary's. Dedicated to the run on this drive. Sean Knox was there to meet Lumbala again, number 21.
That's real strange. You know, Les Mullings was not in there for the last few plays. Now they take both running backs out. They had Schussler, who usually lines up as one of the inside receivers, but had him playing fullback, and they had Jacques Lumbala playing fullback, so they're trying to run those guys inside. Now they come out, and of course Walker's back in and Les Mullings. We have another injury on the field. And that's Trumaine Thomas from Dartmouth. Played his high school football at Cole Harbor High School. Actually coached in high school by one of the St. Mary's Huskies offensive coaches. That's Anthony Williams, who was also a player. Says, I coach that kid in high school and make him a great player, and then where does he go to school? He doesn't come to St. Mary's. He goes to Acadia. If I had known.
From Cole Harbor, and another young athlete from that neck of the woods is making a name for himself these days. Sidney Crosby is a Cole Harbor native, making his presence known in the National Hockey League these days with the Pittsburgh Penguins. First down, St. Mary's. Direct snap to Robinson, who drops deep, and Robinson thinking run all the way. And Pat McNally read it perfectly, as Billy Robinson was dropped fairly deep and was thinking run as soon as he got his hands on the ball.
It's a well-coached secondary by Acadia. You know, when they recognize run, I tell you, those secondary guys are like darts. They just fly up and make tackles, and they make secure tackles. There's nowhere to go, and Patrick McNally comes up from his half spot, makes a nice secure tackle.
Coaching the secondary at Acadia is Marvin Coleman.
You know that name.
From the Calgary Stampeders.
Absolutely.
Outstanding defensive back in the CFL in earlier years. So he joined the staff last year. Here at Wolfville, direct snap. The interception was there, and Elliot Richardson overreacted just a little bit. It was deflected, and Richardson was coming too quickly. He had an opportunity to catch that one out in center field.
Yeah, Les Mullings was out there. They're trying to get the ball to him, and he went up for it, just tipped a little bit, and I think that Richardson was looking at making another big hit here. Billy Robinson under a bit of pressure, a little bit of a hold there as well inside. Right through his hands, just kind of mistimed it, but just tipped it enough so it threw off Elliot Richardson's timing and could not come down with the interception, so St. Mary's will be forced to punt the ball away.
Robinson out of the shotgun on the previous two plays, but he was dropped a little deep and thinking run on the first one. Davalos in to punt from the St. Mary's 47. Mike Gillen deep for the Axemen. And the Huskies have it well covered, to say the least. Gillen had absolutely nowhere to go after fielding that. So nothing on the return. And the Axemen will begin at about the 17-yard line. Second half just nicely underway, and the visitors continue to lead by 4.
A school this size, there's the potential to actually change people's lives.
It's got a real sense of character. You have it all right here at your fingertips.
He learned every one of our names within the first week.
It's a totally different learning style here.
And that's what an education should do. It should lead you out of where you are and let you test yourself.
Every Acadia student has this light about them.
Same as being a family back home.
It's really easy to make a ton of friends.
There's something for everybody. Take a chance in life, do something great.
For a small school, we're very mighty.
Always more than you expect. Unlimited incoming calls. That's Fido. Always more than you expect. Unlimited evenings from 7 p.m. That's Fido.
This week is Sony Week at Future Shop, and that makes everyone a winner. Because this week only, all Sony MP3 players, digital cameras, and camcorders are on sale. All Sony car stereos, DVD players, and home theater systems are on sale. Plus, a huge selection of Sony CDs, movies, and PlayStation games are all on sale. And you can also win big because every day we're giving away a $10,000 Sony Dream prize package. So save big or win big during Sony Week. This week only at Future Shop.
Little CIS football trivia for you. I'm sure Jamie has an answer for this one.
Well, let me see. Mount Allison won it in 97, St. FX 96, so it had to be Acadia 98.
Well, there you go. That narrows it down, and I'm betting you likely have the answer because you looked it up in the book while we were away.
Oh, God, I would never do that. The steel trap.
And here are the Axemen with a first down deep inside Acadia territory, starting around the 17, and they keep it on the ground. Mike Gillen, and Gillen ran into a wall of Huskies.
You know, I think Acadia are going to have a tough time running the ball up inside right now just because of the loss of Carl Ortmans in there. I mean, not only was he a great football player, but he also that team leader inside. And it's going to be real tough slugging inside there, especially now. We talked about the matchup between Tim Burris and Ortmans. At the time, at the beginning of the game, that's going to be a real great battle. But I'll tell you what, I don't think whoever they would put in after Carl Ortmans is going to take care of Tim Burris.
James Michener goes in at quarterback for the Axemen. He was listed as the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. So Michener swings it out for Matt Clark.